All right, local swell tracker, Saturday, February 6th. We're going to do a little hindcasting. We've got a great week in store, and we've got some big pattern changes as far as our winds and weather go, too. Well, we're going to start off last Friday with this big fetch right here that you're seeing, the 29th of January, and that guy, it led to a ton of swell here for the entire Vulcan Pipe Pro. This guy that you see right here tracking off into the Gulf, that's what brought up the north-northwest swell after the contest was POW, and it got up to about 15 feet with some of these winds being near hurricane force. That thing fades off into oblivion, and we had a bit of a pulse here right there. You can see a low pressure here that kind of stalled or occluded, and then there was another low up here in the Gulf that kind of merges with it, and this is Friday the 5th, so just yesterday. Now these fetches are going to both be combining to bring us up Sunday to maybe 6 to 8 feet, short period stuff. And then when they merge, we're going to increase the swell period to about 14 seconds on Monday and get up to about 8 to 12 feet is the approximation. So you can see those guys right there. And then that's it for the hindcasting. Getting back to the current models, there's the two lows. These guys will keep us going all the way until Wednesday when the real deal hits. So starting in the animations, you can see this guy forming right here by the date line. And you see some of this yellow in here. Well, that means some of these seas are getting over 50 feet as it crosses the date line about 1,200 miles off to the west. This is a giant storm with huge seas, but it is further away than the last event storm that brought us up 30, 35 from the west. This guy sits track with a partially captured fetch by this Tuesday as the swell's intensity peaked already, but not before bringing us some giant waves. See how it's nosing closer to us as it fades out. This guy's expected to have 22 to 25 second forerunners in the early morning hours of Wednesday the 10th. It'll be building up to a really rapid ramp after noon in that 20 second category, 14 foot, 20 seconds. So we're talking Wednesday afternoon, 25 foot surf, heavy, long period, dangerous. A lot of water is going to be moving around, and it's going to be 30 feet peaking into the night. And because this fetch lasted such a long time, it was such a long fetch, we're going to have a full day of 15 to 25 plus on Thursday. It should be good enough at Waimea, and of course Jaws will be probably peaking this swell out at up to 30 feet, and we're going to have light winds. It's going to be another epic week, another big Wednesday. Notice how we have a lot of big Wednesdays. So we're going to run through the loops again and just take a look at that big, beautiful storm. Again, this guy will bring us up to 25 minimum, probably 30. And then we got some guy right on its heels, not near as big. This will be bringing us up on Saturday the 13th from the west-northwest and be getting up to about 10 to 15 feet this next weekend. So again, we're going to run through 1 and then 2. So we got about 10 days here of some insanely solid surf from these two big storms you're seeing right here. Then we are going to quiet down just for a spell, but the El Nino season is not over. We're going to take a look at the jet stream here. Very strong pockets of over 200 miles per hour. These large upper scale wind flows help to create storms, and once they're storms, they help steer them. And that's what we see. And there's some meridional flows where you have some dips in the jet and some ridging. But all in all, it's elongated. And in about 7 days, we get a break here. But hopefully, we'll get that jet solidifying off of Japan once again. But it does look like we are coming into a break in about past the middle of the month. Going down under, it's very zonal. The storms are within the jet, but they are moving zonal as well. So we're only going to see half a foot to 1 foot of ground swell, 14 to 16 second swells coming for the next 2 weeks from down under, and I'll show you those. Okay, a little hindcasting from down under last Thursday, 2 Thursdays ago, the 28th. This guy sending off its energy to the Americas, and as we start in the animations, we're not getting anything from that storm. You can see the flow is very zonal or west to east with a few minor exceptions here. So we will be seeing again next week, starting Monday, Tuesday, with some 16-second forerunners on Monday from the south-southwest, and it'll be coming from this fetch right here. It's not a great target towards us, but it will keep us from going Mill Pond Flat, which is just about where we are right now. Starting in the animations, once again, watch these flows. On Friday, we have another bit of a fetch that will lead to some more 16-second ground swell, but just a half a foot of energy. So this means about maybe 2 feet of surf. Long range, we have another similar southwest swell, something from the Tasman Sea around the 17th according to the models, if you want to just quickly mark your calendar, or of course go to Surf News Network and check out the long-range forecast. Premium members get 10 to 14 days and a free 5-day forecast right here. Okay, we're going to show you some different models. This one coming from the Global Forecast System, or GFS. These are the surface winds. This is the big guy here. This low pressure really quickly drops down to about 950 millibars, and it's going to, again, get some winds up to near hurricane force, bring us giant waves. Let's go ahead and advance these one by one. You can see that beautiful fetch there. And again, some of the seas in that are going to be 50 feet. And there comes that next one for next weekend, Saturday, Sunday. And that could be warning levels. We'll wait and see. Then a lot of the models, the reason why I'm on this one is this one goes out further. And I told you we'd go into a quiet period. Here's this big high pressure here, and there's the low pressure's way up here. So we're not getting any swell production week after next. Looking in the animations further, we're going all the way out here to the 20th, Saturday, and you don't see any giant storms forming in the North Pac. Hopefully we'll get a couple more big blasts. It's certainly possible. All right, taking a look at the hand-drawn surface charts, that low pressure here and its associated trough and the front is about 100 miles northwest of Kauai, moving southeast towards us about 15 miles per hour. There's the ridge over the islands creating the light and variable winds, but of course the north winds are coming ahead of this front, and afterwards it's going to get cold, 60, 65 degree lows and super dry, stable weather after this frontal passage. Here comes that big high pressure into the mix. And right behind that big high pressure is going to come that giant storm for Wednesday, Thursday swell. All right, let's jam up 20,000 feet up into the atmosphere. Take a look at the water vapor loops. The brown areas are showing the drier sinking air. And here comes the front and the associated rain. This is the intertropical convergence zone where the trade winds from the North Pac meet the trades from the South Pac. This is going to stay down there. All of the stuff we have to worry about is coming from up here. And there you go. There's that front I was showing you. Here's the first band really coming down. Actually, we've seen some of the prefrontal bands, but this is the main one right here, moving down the island train. We got wind advisories up now, strong gusty north winds, not quite as much as it was before. The Big Island slopes, well, the wind comes up and then down, so those winds are going to be much stronger for the Big Island. Down a little bit further, you can see, man, Oahu especially, just socked in. Kauai's clear for now, but not for long. Again, this front hitting tonight, all night long, and lots of rain on the way, but just it's going to be pretty quick. And here's some of those showers associated with the pre-front frontal rain, especially off to the south of Oahu and off here to the southeast of the Big Island. We'll end here with some beautiful animations showing you the last spinner we had, bringing us our waves. This fetch right here, bringing us our waves for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. The high pressure here, and not showing yet one of the biggest storms we'll see this year marching our way. It is going to stay further away, and so the swell dispersion will be a little bit more than the last swell. So that means more swell decay and a slightly smaller event than that 30-35 footer from the west-northwest. There's the swell period showing 20-25 seconds for this coming Wednesday, Thursday. These are the swell periods. Here's the second one here coming up in about 8 days from today and next weekend, basically, as I was mentioning. So again, here comes our little swell periods, 11 to 12 seconds here for Sunday, Monday. And then here's the huge long period swell from the northwest on Wednesday, Thursday. And that's your local swell tracker. I'll be back here next weekend at Surf News Network. Mahalo.